Hey guys, I'm going to talk to you today about stop leak and its benefits and its problems. But before we get started, please like and subscribe down here because that's the best thing you can do to help me to keep bringing you this information. Now, let's get on to it. Hello Corvette people, Lyle at C&S Corvettes here with my Friday podcast. Today I want to talk to you about a question that I get asked frequently, especially by people who've brought their cars to me to be repaired because they have a leak of some nature, be it power steering, coolant, AC, whatever. When people bring their car to me and they say, my AC isn't working, we do a full diagnostic using our special AC dedicated machine to figure out what their pressures are, what kind of vacuum it holds, and if and where there's a leak. Normally the leaks are at the vacuum or the input ports, high and low side, or the case of the compressor will actually leak. Those are the two most common on like a C5. And I get this question. Well, I saw this commercial where this guy put this screen door in the bottom of a rowboat and he done sprayed this stuff on it, like in this picture here, and he done took that boat out on the lake, didn't leak no more. Can't we just spray some of that on there? No, you can't. There are certain things that are marketed as stop leak. You know, liquids that you can pour into a system that will solve your problem. What I want to talk about today specifically is why that isn't always a good idea and some of the problems that can occur or existing problems that can be exacerbated by using it. Let's start with, say, the power steering system in your car. They actually make power steering stop leak. It doesn't work. Why? Two reasons. Normally, the leak that occurs in a power steering system is at the rotating pump seal, which is a round rubber seal where the pump rotates. Stop leak swells rubber to kind of help seal leaks. Doesn't work on a round seal where there's a rotating shaft in it. Number two, power steering systems produce up to 2,000 PSI of pressure. There is no stop leak in the world, no matter how well that rowboat may float, that is going to stop that leak. Coolant system. There are two types of coolant leaks, internal and external. An external leak is where you can see physical evidence of the leak. There's a puddle on your floor. You smell coolant. You see steam coming up from your engine while you're sitting at a light. External leaks can sometimes temporarily be solved by stop leak. Internal leaks, however, cannot. How do you tell if you have an internal leak? An internal leak, you're going to see that your levels, coolant levels in your reservoir are always low, like you're running out, but you don't see any leaks. Big one is if you're blowing white smoke out of your exhaust pipes, that means you have an internal engine leak, meaning that a head gasket or an intake gasket has failed and is allowing the introduction of coolant into the cylinders. This is a serious problem. Stop leak's not going to fix it. You're going to have gaskets done. Head gaskets, intake gaskets, whatever it may be. On the external leak again, puddles, steam, smell, you can use stop leak temporarily to solve that problem. But you don't want to use too much. If you use too much stop leak, using the old, well, if a little's good, more must be better, right? No, more is not. In fact, here's a picture of what happens when the particulate matter in stop leak is used in too high a dosage in your system. It actually causes a lot of the journeyways, a lot of the small passages in your radiator, and even in your engine to get plugged up with debris. Makes a bad problem worse. Again, stop leak, if you need to get home, if you are 100 miles away from home and you've got this problem, stop leak will get you home. You want to take it then to a shop to have it actually repaired. This is a short-term solution at best. Let's talk AC systems, okay? Especially here in Florida, can't live without an AC system in your car, especially during the summertime. You can use stop leak on an AC system. Does it work? Sometimes, yeah. What happens every time though? Well, I'll tell you. Every time you have now contaminated your entire AC system. Your compressor, all your lines, your condenser, your evaporator core. All of it is going to need to be flushed and deep cleaned And you can't use, like my AC machine, if you've used stop leak in your system, I can't use that machine to pull contaminated refrigerant that's got stop leak in it out. I have to use a different method that takes about 3 times as long. So by the time you pay me 3 times the money to clean a system that you've put stop leak in, you're well on your way to having fixed the problem correctly cost-wise. And it just doesn't make good sense, because you know that it's kind of like putting a tourniquet on if you've lost a limb. It may save your life, but it's going to have its own set of complications and consequences down the road. Finally, and the one that I actually do recommend keeping in your car, and I've mentioned it in several of my videos, fix a flat. Fix a flat if you are out in the middle of godforsaken nowhere and get a flat tire. Fix a flat does work. No question it works. Here's the caveat, the big asterisk to that. Get to where you're going and immediately go to a tire shop and have it repaired, removed, replaced, whatever. Because here's what happens. That stop leak, you put it in and it's a liquid. So as your tire turns and it's churning, it's slinging that stuff all over the tires, coating the inside of your wheel and the inside of your rim with this material. If you've gone quite a distance with it, it will eventually solidify. If you do it, drive 3 miles and park your car for 3 days, here's what's happened. It was still liquid when you stopped. So it is now splashed all over the inside of your wheel and tire, but because it's still liquid, when you stop and the car is parked, it all trickles down and gathers right at the bottom. So now your wheel and tire are out of balance. You go to drive, you're going to feel this weird feeling like this. Now you're going to have to dismount the tire anyway. It is most likely going to kill your tire pressure monitor if your car is equipped with those, because it's going to gum up the receiver in there. Worst of all, if this is a car that you only drive once in a while and you let it sit for a month, 2 months, whatever, a lot of these fix-a-flat materials and chemicals can corrode the inside of your rim. That is a real problem, because now you're talking real money. Once you start corroding a wheel, you have to replace the wheel because it won't seal well, and it may even begin leaking through aluminum, which we've seen on some of the C6 wheels in the past. So, in sum, stop leak is at best a get-by, and on most systems I don't recommend it, because in the long term, that $15 bottle of stop leak is going to cost you a lot more in cleaning out the system, refreshing the system, or causing serious problems with the stoppage of flow in that system. I don't recommend using it unless in an absolute emergency, and if you do need to use it, get to where you're going and immediately give it to your mechanic so he can clean out that system and fix whatever was actually wrong. If you have questions or comments, make sure to make them below, and don't forget to like and subscribe, because that's how I can sit here and give you this kind of information for free. I very much enjoy doing it, and I'd love to do more, and I can do so with your help. Thank you, and see you soon.